Hi, everybody. Welcome to Beyond the Batcast. Ryan, I'm Upper, talk with Braydon Ketty about Batman, the animated series, and this week's episode is Terror in the Sky. How are you doing today, sir?
Being hunted by the terror in the sky is coming for you when you die.
When I die.
Right on cue. I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing all right, I suppose. Just like you, home from work, so just got to watch some Batman. And just put it in Rivers words. It was another Manimal episode.
Hmm. We're on a hot streak this week.
Yeah, three of the last four episodes have been Manimals.
One more and you get a man bat for free.
Or do we get to build Man Bat because we got a I got like an extra I got a part in each episode.
Yeah.
But yeah, as I said, this is episode is Terror in the Sky. Oh, and the air date for that it was the 45th episode produced, and it was the 37th episode to air, and it was airing November 12th, 1992. So it was so this aired on my 12th birthday
Nice.
this year. So it was directed by Boyd Kirkland. And the story is by Steve Perry again. So yeah, so this must have been like a slow year for Journey if he's writing like at least three episodes of Batman. And yes, the story's by Steve Perry and Mark Saraceni. I think might be saying that wrong, so I apologize if you happen to be listening to this episode. And the teleplay is by as well as by Mark Saraceni. Yeah. So yeah. What was I doing for my 12th birthday? Hmm. I can't remember. Yeah, can't. I'm sure I probably had cake and was like doing like the whole birthday thing with my family, but specifically on my 12th birthday, yeah, nothing sticks out on that birthday specifically, so I can't really, nothing really sticks out for that one. Do you remember what you doing November 12th, 1992?
Um, November 12th, 1992. Would have been after my birthday. I'm gonna assume that was probably around when my parents got their first home video like home video camera set up because that's like the earliest we have of like old VHS tapes of me just walking around and my dad like making me chase the around the floor. He's like, Braden, where's Santa? Where's Santa? And I'm like running to the fridge like to a picture of Santa on the fridge. So yeah, I certainly don't remember Man Bat in my my childhood memories from November 1992. I think I would have had therapy bills.
I'm not sure if I remember this episode specifically, if I remembered that there was a second Man Bat episode or not. Because obviously I had remembered the first episode, like the or the last episode with Man Bat in it, which was the first episode. And
Hmm.
yeah, that one definitely that one stuck out more than this one, really. So I'm not 100% if I saw this one
Yeah,
in
and
the
I
first
like
run.
this Man Bat episode a little bit more, but more of the case that we see more of Man Bat
Yeah.
than we did in On Leather Wings. Also, it's got a little bit of a Twilight Zone kind of vibe to it. Like, I don't know if it was just like the title card or just like the
No,
phrasing.
no, I think it was probably the fact that we got like a POV version
Yeah,
of Man Bat flying around, and then the doing the Sonic
sonar.
stuff for sonar. There you go. So I was gonna say Sonic, but I was like, that's not right. But yeah, this doing the sonar stuff, the echolocation stuff or whatever, because I definitely wasn't in the first episode. I'm sure I have having that ability or using that ability, I suppose. I guess.
Hmm. Yeah, because when this episode opens, it's you see kind of the like these dock workers in the it's like wintertime in Gotham and you see like the sonar vision. So you automatically know like, okay, something's up. Like they're obviously being kind of stalked by someone, and they're hauling fruit into this like truck, and all of a sudden this big winged creature comes out, and because we've watched the show, like we recognize this kind of appearance and realize Man-Bat's back and diving after like this like bushel of fruit, and the docker workers are just like, I am not paid enough to deal with this shit. Just haul right out of the scene.
Yeah, because the giant bat is definitely on the weird. Even though they've dealt with bat, they know Batman is a
Mhm.
thing. Yeah, the giant man bat is definitely on the weirder side of things that happen in Gotham.
I
Even
also thought it
though,
was interesting to set this episode up in winter because bats hibernate, right? So like,
yeah, I would think so. Yeah, but yeah, so yeah, but I think that's probably not really like high on the list of things that people will think about when they see like a giant
no.
bat flying around. Really.
Yeah.
And also too, like I also thought it was funny that it was when it's going through, like finally like scared the guys off and started going through the thing, and like was just like throwing a bunch of the fragrant fruit over his shoulder, then started eating it. So instead of just being like, "Hey, grab the first one," and just be like, "Oh." So that didn't make sense to me.
Yeah,
Yeah, but then I was like, why am I questioning like the like a huge man-sized bat eating and like stealing a bunch of fruit? So I was like, okay, yeah. So
because it's your birthday and you're allowed to ask questions.
no, I thought I was allowed to cry on my birthday. I always got it wrong.
Well, man bat's coming for you. You're probably gonna cry.
I probably would cry if I if they came for me.
What I found interesting though was like briefly cutting ahead is when the dock workers report to the police about like the man bat appearance, the cops are like skeptical. They're like, "Oh yeah, sure, a big giant bat. Oh yeah, I bet that's what happened." Like these guys would have been on the force, presumably, when Man Bat appeared the last time, right? Like, was that not a topic of conversation?
Uh, or at the very least, be like, "Oh, so you saw Batman, eh? Like he's
Yeah.
known around here. So what the fuck?" So like, at the very least, be like, make the wrong assumption and think it's Batman instead.
It was how casually they rolled their eyes, like, oh,
Yeah.
yeah, sure, stupid dock
or,
workers.
or they forgot that they were in Gotham and like this,
Yeah.
and like shit like this happens all the
Oh,
time.
what next? A crocodile, man? Oh, yeah.
Oh, I bet a giant, big clown was trying to kill you.
Yeah.
Or
But,
a guy with a bunch of question marks
yeah.
on his seat was asking a bunch of questions.
Yeah. It's like Wiggum when he's like talking about like that guy comes up to him, it's like, I just burned down my house and I'm afraid I'm gonna do it again. Oh yeah, I bet. Let me type it on my invisible typewriter. Do, 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 do. But yeah, so yeah, I love him. I there's days I want to know like what it would have been like to cross these like two shows together, Simpsons and Batman. I don't know what it is. It's just I'd be a kid in a candy store with that kind of environment. But yeah, so going back to the Man Bat vision, as we'll call it, um we see the POV of Man Bat heading back to this bedroom, and that's when Langstrom wakes up out of a sudden dream, and so he's like, "Oh wow, like what just happened?" And his wife Francine's like, "Kirk, did you have a bad dream?" It's like, "No, no, it's fine." He sees
or
that.
or didn't she say like the nightmares again? Like
Mhm, that
and
was
that
what it was.
this is probably like not the first time that this has happened.
Yeah. And so he's like, "Yeah, no, like I'm fine, dear." And he goes up because the window's open, and he goes to close it. And as he's doing that, he steps in something and realizes he's stepping in like squished fruit. And so,
It looks like it was the same fruit that the
yeah,
man bat was rooting through when down at the docks. Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, definitely lures the audience in with some interesting intrigue. And what happens after that? Is it oh yeah, Batman had overheard the dock workers talking and about like the man bat appearance. And so he immediately is like, okay, so like I should probably go talk to Langstrom. So one thing I found interesting, because again, this episode takes place in winter. Why is Batman riding the motorcycle?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Like,
like he has a motorcycle, and then they made like a point for him to have like the spikes on the back tires,
yeah, he's got winter tires on his
but just
motorcycle.
go out in the Batmobile that we've already think that the thing that you go out most like I like have we seen him on a motorcycle before, or was it only Robin that one the in Robin's Reckoning we've seen like the motorcycle before?
I reckon that we've seen him on the bat cycle before, but putting it in winter is just like it takes me right out of the episode because like I'm granted that's the adult in me. As a kid, I'm just like pretty car or pretty bike, but yeah, like you're gonna have heated seats, I imagine, in the Batmobile, if not just central heating. Like, why is he on his motorcycle? Like, he's gonna skid on black ice and crash, and that'll be the end of Batman. Like,
Or at the very least, the Batmobile has a heater in like in the enclosed this seating that he has in there.
yeah, I
But
was so confused. Like you've mentioned you cycled to work, right?
yeah, yeah, and I've stopped because it's October and it's already too cold to be doing that, and it's not really that cold.
Yeah, there's not even
Uh,
snow on the ground yet.
yeah, exactly right. Yeah.
You're and you
Yeah, I'm not a crime fighting vigilante that needs to friggin' be comfortable like in my friggin' crime fighting suit.
and yet you're apparently smarter than Batman. Like, I'm surprised Alfred isn't like ragging his ass over this. Like, you're gonna catch a cold. Remember the last time? Yeah, I beat Mr. Freeze last time. No, technically, I beat Mr. Freeze. Yeah, so I believe that's when he runs over to the Gotham Zoo where Langstrom is. And Langstrom's like looking over like some beakers and stuff. So it looks like he's back to his old habits of like the bat man bat serum. Or so it would seem. Uh because yeah, Batman or Francine's looking for him, right? Like she comes in and that's when she meets, as you mentioned in our messages earlier, her father, Grouchy Odo, Dr.
Yeah,
Marsh.
yeah, or I have it in my mind. Yeah, it's like, ah, yes, Dr. Mark is the crusty shapeshifter Odo. Yeah, because he was talking and it's like, oh yeah, I think I recognize his voice, and I know I probably looked him up last time, but it's long enough that I couldn't remember. And
Yeah.
then yeah, because like yeah, at this point I'm doing my Voyager watch through, so probably by the time I'm done this, I'll probably be going on to DS9. So that's probably why I didn't put the voice together right away because I'm usually, but I was like at the very least I was like I know this voice, and so I had to look it up as it was going. I'm like, ah yes, the crusty shapeshifter.
Well, I think he's especially pissed off because his son-in-law got to experience being transformed into a bat and he didn't. Because if you remember on Leather Wings, Kirk's like all the research notes were from Dr. March that
Yeah.
turned him into Man-Bat. He just
Yeah,
decided to go from the theoretical into the practical.
yeah,
So
because for some reason, yeah, Doctor March's thing was that the bats are good help with the next, yeah, or like the missing link for like the to or to what was it to like
they're gonna survive the next evolutionary cataclysm or something.
yeah that's yeah I was trying I couldn't remember what the wording was but like but did you say why or just like because that I feel that
No, he never
not
said why.
yeah yeah not like I'm definitely not a biologist but I that doesn't make sense at all like that's it seems really arbitrary to me.
Yeah.
It's almost like obviously he probably he studies bats, so he probably knows something about bats that I and we don't. But
Like, show your work, bro.
Yeah, yeah, like I don't see
Give me
why
that
bats would be
syringe. Stab himself in the arm. Like,
bats because they fly, so that yeah, that's it. That's the ticket.
and so do dodo birds, and look what happened to them.
Did they?
Dodos, maybe they didn't. Anyway, they had wings. I know, and they had
Well,
wings, and they're dead.
penguins have wings and
Yeah,
they don't fly.
add it to one of the many dying species on this planet.
Or it's just stupid ass friggin' species.
The point is, Dr. Marsh has no reason to believe that bats will survive the next apocalypse or whatever he thinks is coming for the human race. He just does because he's got a bat boner.
Bat boner.
Yeah, so Kirk is like in the lab, and that's where Francine finds him. And she thinks like he's, back to trying to recreate the serum. And he's like, "No, no, you don't understand. Like I'm trying to figure out like if the serum was like still in my system." And she doesn't believe him. So as they're having this marital dispute, that's when
Yeah,
Batman decides to drop in and
yeah.
just stir the pot.
But also too though, like with put a pin in this argument because once we get to the reveal of this episode, this argument does not make sense.
No. Yeah, in fact, not entirely to the degree of the twist in the Cape and the Cowl episode, but in a similar vein, the twist is clever, but there's a lot of holes in it.
Yeah, it's
Like
yeah,
when
it's
you
just
really think about it.
yeah, because but but
Yeah, we'll get to that part.
yeah.
But yeah, so Batman's like, I'm sick and tired of like, cleaning up your mess, Kirk. And I would like to remind you that what, 2 episodes ago, he helped you find your girlfriend who had been transformed into a cat. So maybe be a little friggin' grateful. Like I didn't tell anybody about your monkey cat, whatever that thing was in your lab. Like, what the hell was that thing? Like,
That was 2 weeks ago. That's like it was so long ago, man. Like what the fuck.
I've created many more monsters since then. What? Nothing. Yeah, so Francine's like I can't take these secrets anymore or whatever and storms off. And what does Batman do? He like says like, "Well, if you're not really the man bat, like you can prove it." And I think he like takes like a blood sample or something.
Yeah, man, put that as like a finger, yeah, like a yeah, finger pricker thing or whatever. Yeah, it takes a blood sample, yeah,
Yeah,
puts it on his
like one
finger
of
and
those
takes it.
things that people with diabetes have, like where
Yeah.
they prick your finger. So yeah, he walks off and says like I'll be in touch. So I believe that's when he goes outside. So not only does Batman have winter tires on his bat cycle, he's got a bike lock on it. Like, who's got the balls in Gotham to try and steal Batman's motorcycle? Like, I don't think Jason Todd would even do that.
No, well, that's the thing. He stole the wheels out the Batmobile, so like, who's to say why wouldn't he fucking steal the Batcycle?
Was he trying to steal the wheels or the
Yeah,
hubcaps?
no, I thought it was I thought he was I thought it was the wheels. I thought
Okay. It might have
uh,
been the wheels, but I always assumed it was the hubcaps because those are like easier to take off than like the actual tire. Like and probably I would assume the hubcaps would be more valuable than the tires themselves. Like this is the Batmobile's tire. Well, how are you gonna prove it?
I don't think he was doing it to sell off. He was just doing it because he could. I thought.
Because he was a rebel without a cause.
No, just no. Yeah, he's like, fuck it, I'm doing it, so I can, so I'm going ahead, so I'm going to
Because society.
because I can.
Because screw Batman. That's why.
Yeah, or as season one Titans would say, fuck Batman. Which I always thought like that first ad campaign for Titan for the first season of Titans was really bad
Yeah.
because it didn't hit the tone what the tone of the first season was like at all. So I think that turned a lot of people off, and it was poorly done. I thought so because a lot of people like it. Even now, I mentioned like, hey, have you seen Titans? They're like, oh fuck Batman, because they're
Yeah. That's the
referencing
one
that
thing
was
they take away.
yeah. And I was like, yeah, they focus way too much on that one line of the for like the first episode, and yeah, and that was definitely wasn't the tone of the show at all.
Yeah. I liked the concept of it because I think there is like an interesting story there and like the trauma that like Dick Grayson has gone through as
Yeah, yeah,
Robin.
yeah, yeah. It was a great show.
Yeah.
It was really good. But as I said, like that ad campaign did more harm than good. It's
That
really
being
was.
said, the one thing that made me kind of go, I don't think you're really seeing what you're doing here is when he's like, Batman's too intense. He's got like a dark side. He's gonna go over the edge. Bro, in episode one, you are smashing guys' faces into car doors and grinding their like cheeks into like crushed glass. And Batman's got anger issues?
That's just regular Batman stuff. So
No, but that's Robin doing that.
yeah. So regular Batman stuff. Yeah.
I just think like, okay, so if that's what he's doing, what is Batman doing that's worse, short of like killing
well,
someone
in that show, he does kill the Joker.
in
That's
an illusion?
no, he did.
Oh, right. Yes, later.
Yeah, yeah, I think it was it like yeah, season two or three. Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, I guess I
he,
did.
yeah,
That's fair.
he-
But that's also because, well, yeah. Anyway, we're getting off topic, but yeah, you're not wrong. And once again, I am never going to be someone who's going to be like, why, like, Batman should never kill the Joker. No, he should kill the friggin' Joker. Like, I'm the guy spray painting on the buildings. Jason Todd is right. Anyway, yeah, so Batman leaves Kirk's lab, and that's when he gets attacked by Man-Bat. So it's an interesting fight here because once again, like we didn't see much of the Batman versus Man-Bat thing in Leather Wings because obviously it didn't really happen until the end of the episode. But what I thought was kind of funny is that Man-Bat's just more or less doing the same thing, just hucking trash cans at him over and over again. Like he's like Donkey Kong just throwing the
Whoa.
barrels. Yeah. Batman's just taking it like hard. He's just like, oh, it's so funny. Like there is some meat in those garbage cans, man. Like, and yeah, so he's trying to do that, and I think like Man Bat flies off after after having that little tussle there. And is that when what happens after that? Oh, hang on a second. Wait,
It
no.
was like is that like when they went through the subway and stuff?
Oh yeah, yeah. So yeah, he has his like bike like hit by the subway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he the bike gets ran over. So once again, why did you take the bike in the first place? Like and yeah, he manages to like narrowly escape death and I believe after that we cut to Francine finding like a torn up rug in the garbage. And that's where she's like you're clearly hiding something from me, Kirk, and like says like I'm leaving. So this is what I found interesting because apparently this episode was going to play out a little bit different. So I'll find the note here. The original story for this, according to Bruce Timm, was meant to be much darker. Kirk and Francine were on the verge of divorce because of what he did as Batman or as Man Bat. She couldn't live with him anymore. And it ends with like a fight between them in the Batcave. And there's more to that story, but I'm not going to dive into it because again, it's just spoiler territory, and we're not quite at the twist there yet. But yeah, we were essentially going to see like the collapse of Kirk Langstrom's marriage in this episode, and then they were
Okay.
like,
And Kirk Langston's like, don't you remember that I'm the Beastmaster? You need to fucking
"Yeah,
stay with me.
I only killed one tiger."
I'm the Beastmaster.
Oh man, what were the ferrets that he had? Like something in Kodo?
Yes, that's something like that. Yeah, there's
Yeah.
two.
Oh man. Portal
Yeah,
for Time is like got the some of the best laughs out of me. Chill out, little dude. Yeah, so I
there's
believe
Kodo and Podo.
Kodo and Podo, that's what it was. Yeah. That's what it was. Um oh yeah, so yeah, Francine has left Kirk and she's like going for the airport and Kirk's like trying to find out like where she's gone to. And that's when Batman arrives and he's like, I've checked the DNA sample and yeah, like it's true. Like you're
And
not Man
you
Bat.
you're right. I was wrong, I guess. Like I
Well,
guess.
it's funny because he says like, "Don't worry, we're both off the hook." Batman, you are never on the hook. Like none of this involved you. Like if anything, you just made like the potential for like a marriage to collapse. And Kirk's like, "What is this we shit?" Like, yeah. So Kirk's like, "I gotta go find Francine. Like thanks for at least clearing my name, but like I've got at least a chance to prove it thanks to you because I guess Francine trusts Batman more than her own husband.
Thanks a lot, Batman. Like
Yeah, Batman marriage counselor.
something about due process, Batman. Like, come on, what the fuck?
Yeah, yeah. So that's when Batman is like, okay, so if Man Bat's not the or if Kirk's not Man Bat, so like who is it then? So he's figuring like it's got to be somebody in the lab. So that's when he goes to dig through Dr. Marsh's files, and Marsh is sitting like the back with like a tranquilizer gun, and he's
Yeah,
like
yeah, because it wasn't like when they're all arguing. You saw him like kind of like hiding behind like a door or whatever.
that's right, yeah.
Yeah. So they kind of figured out that through all that, I think he kind of was kind of figuring out that they knew it wasn't Kirk and more so him
Hmm.
or
Yeah,
kind
because
of or they're kind of like shifting the blame onto him. Yeah.
yeah, well, yeah, and that's the thing. Like he's so like willing to throw his son-in-law onto the bus. Like what a dick. So Marsh is like, like completely like adamant and like believing, yeah, like the bats are gonna like inherit the earth or something. And he's like, I continued his research because I want to be Man Bat now. Like, okay, boomer. Like grandpa's off his meds. Like so Batman's like you're insane. And what's funny is like he manages to disarm the rifle with his feet.
Oh yeah. It does that weird move. Yeah, like it's almost like a breakdance move. Yeah, he fucking
It
does like
was
the little.
completely unnecessary.
Yeah. It does like a weird like handstand thing. Yeah, and then fucking takes and it does grabs the gun with the barrel of the gun with his feet. Yeah, and like uppercuts him with a foot gun.
That man should have won the gold medal for breakdancing at
Yeah,
least.
it's 100% a better moves than fucking.
Suck it, Ray Gun.
Yeah, we're gonna yeah, no, and he did one move, and it was
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, like March is like well, no, like I couldn't be Man Bat. And he's like, well, what do you mean? Like I never took the serum. He's like, well, there's a Man Bat out there and it's not Kirk, so who the hell is it? So
I'm
then,
too old. I'm too old and a crusty and too much of a crusty shapeshifter to be a fucking man bat.
yeah,
I,
that's the
I,
ironic part. He wants to be a shapeshifter. He just wants to shift into one shape.
I didn't learn how to fly until the later seasons, so just come back in a couple seasons, then I'll learn how. I know then I'll would have known how to fly.
Did Odo learn how to fly in the show?
I know, yeah, or something like that. No, it was just like, no, I just was thinking of like that. That's when he like saw that other shapeshifter that they was one of the ones that they sent out and stuff, and he saw him like flying through space or whatever.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. So
yeah,
he's like doing like what, like a Princess Leia, like Last Jedi move, like floating
no,
through
no,
space.
like no, like the because there was like another shapeshifter guy. He knew he could just like fly through space or whatever,
Okay,
and they were and then they were, and I think somebody in a shuttlecraft or some shit or was like they were like, what the fuck is this? Because they scanned it and knew it was the same genetic material as what Odo is or whatever the fuck, and they're like, there's another you out there that was fucking flying through space, and I think it like I came into the ship or whatever, like through like the vents and shit. Then there, then blah blah blah, and it was like the like one of the later season episodes.
interesting.
So it made me think of that one. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah. I think that was like one of like the one or two episodes I've seen like of DS9 as it was airing because I like didn't watch it then, and I was like I have no idea what's going on, and then didn't watch it until like 5 or 6 years ago.
interesting. I'm just picturing Odo like learning how to fly, but like still looking like pissed off, like he always is. Like Odo could win the lottery and still be miserable. Like
Well, these people doesn't believe in money, so what the fuck we do with money for? I'm a security guy.
I can believe a
Bro,
lot of suspension of disbelief when it comes to Star Trek. No money in the future. Bullshit.
well, let's say, yeah, let's say the Frank, you know what's up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you still get the Ferengi who's like, we want profit, but there is no profit. It's like, well, we'll find some. Like, we need profit anumas. So yeah, March is like recounting, or he's recounting what happened the night he was making the formula. So he was working late into the night. He was tired and dropped a beaker when Francine came in.
It's like, yeah,
And
it was late and I'm an old man and I fucking knocked it over and then she was helping me pick it up
yeah,
and she got
because he couldn't get it up. Yeah, so she's like reaching for the beaker and I think she touched some like glass and like it like slightly cut her finger. And as she was doing that, she touched the formula. And that's when March realizes, oh no, that means that Man Bat is She Bat.
it's baby
So
bat.
this is something I pointed out to Adam because there was little clues. I don't know if you caught them in the earlier part that Man Bat was in fact different than Kirk Langstrom. One is that we'll call them She Bat. She Bat has pink pajamas
Yeah, I was
and
gonna
a
say, yeah,
shirt
like the
covering her chest, but Man Bat, the regular Man Bat, is bare chested and has blue
had like
pants.
yeah, the blue pants, yeah.
Yeah. Now, you're also probably wondering, but if she's a woman bat, where are her woman bat parts in the upper region? Well, and this is what I found interesting.
The upper region.
Yeah, I
Fuck.
found this funny. The dense rainforest canopies of Malaysia are home to the only known case of a wild male mammal that produces milk. The Dayak fruit bat is a vanishing rare case of male milk production, despite the fact that the potential for breastfeeding remains in place in most male mammals. So the question is not where are she bats' boobs? Where are men bats' man boobs?
But it's not the bat that they were using for this one though.
In my head canon, it is. Hey, say what you will about Joel Schumacher and his choices in the bat suit. The fact that he gave Batman nipples is apparently scientifically accurate. So yeah, I just sounded funny, like Dr. Marsh realizing, like, oh my gosh, my son-in-law and my daughter beat my dream goal to become a man bat. And Batman's kind of like, give up your friggin' crazy dream of becoming a bat. Like your daughter's gonna get killed. He's like, oh, fine, I'll burn the file. Stupid Batman taking the fun out of science. So as this is happening, Batman goes to chase after them at the airport, and we have Kirk going to the airline, and he's like managed to get behind Francine a couple doors down or a couple seats down, and Francine's like saying to the flight attendant, like, "Could you get me an aspirin? Like I've got a bit of a headache." And so like we're getting this slight inclination that something's off. So Kirk comes alongside her and says, like, Francine, I know that, like you're upset, but I'm telling you, I'm not Man Bat. Like, I'm innocent. So
I was Man Bat, but not currently
yeah,
Man
I'm not Man Bat now. I'm the artist formerly
Bat.
known as Man Bat.
Yeah.
So yeah, we let's talk about this twist for a second, because when Francine like, realizes like, he's not Man Bat, but then she starts to transform, she's completely conscious when it happens. So the other two times, she would know that she's Man Bat, right? Or She Bat, right?
Yeah, but didn't Kurt like kind of forget like the transformation what was happening though? So
I don't think he did, because like he knew like at the time that he was doing it because he kept on feeding the formula and making it stronger and on
okay.
leather wings
Oh,
at
that's right.
least.
Okay, yeah.
And even
That's
still,
right.
like the fact that, she's wearing like tattered clothes as She-Bat. Like you'd think like when you transform back into a human, you'd be like, why am I wearing like a tattered shirt? And why am I like, or why am I naked in the middle of like the street?
Why does it look like I'm wearing the Hulk's clothes for?
Yeah. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, cause this does happen in the comics. Like Francine does briefly become like She-Bat.
The Hulk? No.
Yeah. Yeah. Francine smash. Yeah.
That's the amalgam version is Man Bat
Oh my
and the Hulk.
gosh.
Or
Friggin'
so it
amalgam.
says so is it like Man Hulk or Hulk Bat?
I like Hulkbat. I'm surprised Hulkbat's not a thing yet, considering they both deal with anger issues. But yeah, like that was the only thing, because I'm like, okay, this is a good twist, and like I didn't see it coming. But I was like, wait a second, like how does she not picking up that something's happening to her at least? Because she's like pointing to Kirk the whole time, and it's like, what's happening to your clothes? Like, I don't know, like unless she's like walking around the house like naked, like, which is her business. I'm not. Yeah, so she starts transforming on the plane, and Kirk's like, "Holy crap!" And realizing his wife is like, turned into like a man bat, and man bat or she bat breaks free, hits like the air the emergency door, and like everybody starts getting like trying to like uh, keep themselves from getting sucked out of the plane as Batman's coming in with the Batwing. So, what was it that She-Bat like picked up Kirk and flew away, and Batman had to like rescue the flight attendant? Was that what happened?
I think so, yeah, something like that.
Yeah, because he's got like, remember that claw that he used to like grab the guy's
Yeah,
wrist and feet of clay?
yeah,
Yeah, he's
yeah,
got.
yeah, yeah. You had that, and it was like obviously like we know that this is not the first time like the Batwing has showed up and stuff. So obviously we know that Batman can is a pilot of sorts, but
Mhm.
like this episode, like he's not obviously not like he's not Maverick, so he's not like like a top notch friggin' pilot. So he's paid just because obviously he's not putting his hours in fighting it because he's probably just too busy being Batman doing that. So he showed I think he showed a little too much precision flying because he like grabbed that he was able to fucking like lift the door up and then
Yeah.
close it proud then like swing it closed and like close it properly and then like fly away.
Yeah, like Batman would be kicking ass at like the claw machine at the arcade. Look, Alfred, I got the stuffed unicorn. Yes, but did you get the mustache comb? I have a mustache. It's not
Trying to
always
get the
about
red gun.
you. So one thing I want to note here is after he saves the stewardess, um, the whole chase that happens between, which I really like, the chase between She-Bat and Batman and the Batwing. It was all storyboarded by Phil Norwood, who's actually more known for his storyboarding apparently in live action. And Bruce Timm said it's one of the most amazing set pieces in the entire series. Phil's really great and he knows the limits of animation. So that's part of the reason why it's like uh kind of structured the way it is. Like, and it feels like so kind of high pace because they're like, okay, so like let's see how much of this from a live action format could be translated into animation. Because it's yeah, one of the best sequences I've seen of the Batwing. So Francine's taking Kirk to the top of one of the Gotham bridges, like right on top of the tower. And for a split second, I thought we were gonna get like the night Gwen Stacy died. If you recall what happened on another familiar bridge that looked like this. Some lunatic's gonna come along with a sadistic choice. The other option was, is she taking him there to mate? Like, how do bats mate? Upside down? I don't know. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so I'm trying to remember what happens. I think like eventually Batman gets to the top of the tower and he's trying to like inject the cure that he's I forgot when he made the cure, but it was at some point in this episode. The point is he has a
Well,
cure.
yeah, because it would just been the same antidote that he gave
Right.
Kurt, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So he was just like, oh, I'm just gonna make another one. So yeah, it's not like he's, making the recipe from scratch. But yeah, they're having a little fight. And that's the thing. It's like before we had like Batman and Man Bat, or in this case, She Bat, fighting from a distance, whereas here they're close up. And like it's a really interesting choreograph between the two of them. I liked it. It was really good. And also like the fact that like you have to watch your footing like when you're fighting in snow. Like, yeah. Well, granted,
like
this
yeah,
is
yeah, because I think she like because of the snow and stuff, he does like she does like almost knock Batman off, and then then as he's like trying to gets back up, he like shoots her with like the second shot of the
mhm.
antidote, and it doesn't like seem to initially take effect, but then I think then she like goes and like almost slips off herself, and then kind of then finally changes back into human Francine form instead of Shiva form.
Yeah, she goes to slip when she's like getting towards the edge there.
Yeah,
And Batman notices and he's about to get up, but it's actually Kirk that saves her, which I really like. It was a nice touch because, like, again, like when these two have had like kind of like their marriage is starting to have like a fork in the road moment, to have them brought back together like that, it's a very small but sweet moment, and it just like helps button the episode a little bit. So I thought it was a very quick like story change there that I like, because it could Batman could have easily saved her and then just been like, here's your wife back, Kirk, and like gone and done his thing. But the fact that he did it, well, I think was a really good move.
yeah, yeah,
And then yeah, they're on top of the bridge and hugging each other, and yeah, Kirk's
yeah.
gonna get
They
over
tell
the fact that his wife's like, I thought you were a man bat, but I'm not. But I guess I should apologize. But oh well.
yeah, the nightmare's finally over.
Yeah. And what's funny is I don't know if you felt this. I thought the ending, like the very last minute, was a little too rushed because they're hugging it out. Batman's just walking to the Batwing, and then it ends. Like, did he just leave them up there?
He's
Like, they're
like
gonna
he's
freeze to death if
yeah,
they don't fall off.
he's like almost back, and he's like, oh yeah, fuck, they're both human now. They can't fly. Shit. I have to go. Yeah,
Yeah.
I have to go back.
Yeah, here's a grappling hook. Figure it out.
And so what would you give this episode out of five lady bats?
I am gonna give it 3 out of 5. Um, because I think that it's a good story. I like it. I just think the twist, for all the interesting aspects of it, it did have a couple of plot holes in it. I think could have been a little bit easier rectified. But yeah, no, it was great seeing Batman fight Man Bat again, and seeing like the arc of these characters kind of come to like a new stage in their journeys. And yeah, no, it was a really good animation. How about you?
Yeah, I think I give it a three out of five as well, just because it was a decent second episode of Man Bat and whatnot, and had a decent twist, and it being like Lady Bat instead of Man Bat. But yeah, I give it a three out of five. Lady Bats. All right, that is the episode for this week. Thanks everyone for joining us at the Batcave to talk about Batman at the animated series. And next week's episode will be Almost Got 'Em. So get your big rocks ready and for that one. And you can follow us on Twitter/X at Beyond Backcast or on Instagram at Beyond the Backcast. And we are on YouTube now at youtube.com/ at Beyond the Backcast. So check us out there. Rate, review, subscribe us on there or wherever you find your podcast or wherever you listen to us now. And where can we find you on the internet, Braden?
You can find me on Instagram at Alfred is Zaddy,
What
and you
was
can
that?
also find us on our Facebook page, Beyond the Backcast. We also have a Discord that we'd love to have you guys on. You can find that on our link tree. Just go to Beyond the Backcast on Instagram, and it'll be right there. And yeah, we talk lots of stuff on there. I'm talking about the Penguin, trying to keep the spoilers to a minimum, but yeah, we're talking about all things Batman on that Discord.
You can follow me at Stump Jumping on Instagram. That is the episode for this week, and thanks for joining us at the Batcave to talk about Batman the Animated Series at Beyond the Batcast. Goodbye, good chums. Kapow.